Ever struggled to decide which tense to use in English? Wondered whether it's I ate a sandwich or I have eaten a sandwich? Well, many people hesitate, and that's not surprising, considering you could choose from at least 12 different options to express tense in English. But fear not, for linguists have some cool tips to share. First of all, you don't need to worry so much about all those complex tense combinations, such as the cat will have been sleeping, as in fact they are pretty rare. Let's have a look. This shows the frequency of each tense combination in a large dataset of authentic English. And as you can see, people mostly use the present simple, I love English, and the past simple, the cat slept all day. The system of tense in English is virtually divided in two, with the present simple and the past simple on one side and the other complex tenses on the other side. We'll give you a few simple rules of thumb on how to use the two types of tense, simple and complex. The simple tenses are very closely linked to types of verbs. For example, the verbs that are the most used in the present are verbs you use to describe your emotions and mental states, such as I like rugby, I hate Brussels sprouts, I hope we win this game, do you remember your 18th birthday? For the past simple, the most frequently used verbs are verbs of reported speech or verbs of reaction. He said something to Joan. They smiled a lot during the presentation. She replied to me within a few hours. In other words, for the present and past simple, all you have to do is follow the verbs. They will most likely guide you towards the right tense. Now let's get back to our sandwich problem. For more complex tense combinations, such as the present perfect, the wider context will be of help. Very often there are additional pointers to the sentence that will trigger these more complex tenses. For example, you may want to use the present perfect when you can add something like so far, since then, already. Let's have a look at some examples. Serena Williams has won 23 Grand Slams so far. I have already learned so much. Have you ever visited Birmingham? These contextual elements link the past situation to the current one. Linguists would say that they give the past present relevance. To give you an example, the verb that is the most commonly used in the present perfect is change, which is very similar to the meaning of the present perfect. Something has happened that has consequences for the present. The following example will make the meaning of this painfully clear. When your friend says, I lost my house key, and uses a simple past, this event is no longer relevant to the present situation, so you can assume that your friend has sorted out his problem. They've found their key, or have had another one made. You could add yesterday to that statement, no problem at all. But when they say, I've lost my house key, you better start making up the guest bed, because they won't have anywhere to sleep. The past event is still relevant to the present, and you cannot use yesterday in that sentence. You could add again though, if that is something that has already happened to your friend. So, the best way to choose a fitting tense is to remember that the simple tenses are by far the most frequent. If you're unsure, they are a safe bet. Over time, you can start being more specific by paying attention to the verb and or the context. Are you talking about your tastes, emotions, hopes, or dreams? Use the present simple. Are you talking about what someone said or how someone reacted? Use the past simple. And if you want something more elaborate, think about the context. Can you say it has already happened or has some consequence for the present? Present perfect. And the really complicated things, such as the future perfect progressive, you can save them for when you feel extra sophisticated. The neighbour's cat, Lord Augustus Meowington the Brave, will have been sleeping for 3 whole hours by the time the clock hits 6 PM.